Okay, so tell me who you are and what you do.
Hi there, I'm Jay. I work for a retailer, and I focus on digital marketing, specifically acquisition of customers, search, organic, paid, affiliate, lots of acquisition and driving the traffic to the website.
So tell me, Jay, what do you see as the big opportunities or where the industry is going over the next 3 years?
Yeah, excellent question. I think that digital marketing and the combination of the stores, specifically retailers that have stores, and the digital marketing efforts on the website. There's so many opportunities to drive a greater customer experience in terms of whatever channel we're in and have a great experience. Lots of research takes place online, lots of sales. In the end, it doesn't matter where the customer places the order, what vehicle, what device, whether it's catalog, telephone, or a website. There's so many opportunities to actually assist that customer in providing them a wonderful, happy experience.
What do you see as the big opportunity over the next year or so?
Many opportunities, many challenges, but specifically, again, back to the customer experience in terms of assisting them, in terms of information, in terms of leveraging pieces of technology to assist that experience, in terms of if it's apparel, in terms of a little runway for identifying the clothes, not just a front view, but side and backs. Identifying, you can't touch the fabric, but you can actually certainly have people talking about it. You can have video, you can have alternate views, you can have people writing reviews, you can have a stickiness factor of people having a community on the website to assist in that process.
And what do you see as the biggest challenge for a retailer today and obviously ongoing for the next year or so?
I think one component that is really difficult is to actually identify the customers that come to the website specifically and then go off to a store. And the question is, there's all kinds of analytics in place specifically identifying you spend and you get. But the question is, how much influence is there from a spend factor, whether it's an acquisition channel with some element of digital marketing, but then people go and drive to a store and then there's a disconnect of that experience that then goes to a store. That's great that the retailers capture that sale, but the question is, it would be really helpful to understand how can we better tie specifically the digital efforts of the acquisition that then all of a sudden they went to the store and made a purchase. How you bridge that gap would be helpful, because from a marketing perspective, a budget perspective, a customer repeats, loyalty, whatever the measurements are, it would be helpful to understand. And if you knew scientifically, empirically, that people were going off to the store based upon that, the wonderful influence, you'd be willing to do more in more of the channels, whether it's spend more or engage them in ways that you just kind of stop short based upon ROI targets.
And for people who want to come into the industry, what would you recommend? What would be your advice for them?
Yeah, it's a fantastic industry to be in for sure, and it's fun. It's you're thinking a million miles an hour. There's so many opportunities to continue to improve, no matter how good the experience is, no matter how good a website is, whether it's the speed of it, whether it's the merchandising, it's the color of it, the creativity. I think it's a great industry to get in, and how one does it. I think somebody needs to go to the store and touch the product. I think people need to walk the stores, walk the aisles, get excited about it. So even if they're a creative person or an analytical person or a developer, there's still ways to understand what drives the business. So specifically, if it's a retail or a big box store, there's unique ways of doing that. Or if it's a pure play, certainly, obviously. It's not just scientific, it's not just analytics, it's not just throwing merchandise in the catalog. There's lots of business rules, there's lots of fun factors, and I think there's many ways to get involved. But I think people need to understand the industry a little bit better, read some of the trade publications. Obviously coming off to a trade event like this is fun. Certainly going off to the stores and talking to associates. And even going to the websites and exploring further, getting engaged in the communities on the site to better understand how they're touching those customers. I think there's lots of ways that young people who are coming out of college could actually get engaged in this growing business.
So we've been at the conference a couple of days now. What do you see as the big buzz? I think that's exciting you the most as a potential from what you might have heard at the conference.
I think there's a couple things. When one comes to an event like this, there's certainly the content sessions. One expects to learn something, and not just learn what they're doing, but actually what they did wrong. And I think learning from mistakes and understanding people being honest about that. Jamie Nordstrom identified this morning in a keynote specifically about celebrating those failures, because it does help to understand, because everyone puts the best foot forward. There's logic, there's thought process, there's money, there's resources, but behind some of these elements, And when they fail, not everything succeeds. In fact, most things probably do fail. But it's good to understand if there's flavors or nuances of things that actually does have merit. Sometimes people are maybe a year or two early on some of those concepts that actually will help. In the end, there's lots of ways to learn. Second of all, coming to, we're in a trade exhibit hall. There's probably hundreds of exhibitors here, filled with knowledge, lots of technology, lots of smart people, very focused in niche audiences, whether it's search or email or e-commerce platforms, payment plans, all kinds of personalization. You can learn from them, and there's so many nuances, and it's moving quickly. And as you're walking through the aisles, there's so many smart retailers who have experience, who are seasoned, who have tried, and you grab them and ask them questions along the way. So many learning opportunities.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.